in this Eagle Outlook, where we get to talk politics and current affairs. And yes, politics and current affairs is not just a matter that is just one gender-sided. It's not a male conversation. It's not a female-only conversation. It's an everybody conversation. So we would also want to implore you to give us your ears, give us your eyes, knowing fully well that we are indeed overseeing and supervising an online television that has gone global, by the way, on YouTube, as you subscribe on the YouTube channel at Eagles FM Abuja, as well as on the Facebook page wall at Eagles FM Abuja, right? My name is Uduak Daniel, and
I am Omo Hefe Peace Osemere. It feels good to be in the studio once again.
Exactly. Well, in the spirit of fair play, Omo Hefe, happy Survival Day. That's my fair play to you.
Once again, happy Survival
Day. That's right. Indeed. And today is, of course, World Fair Play Day, right? It's got a theme, embrace the spirit of fair play, and that's what we're doing on here. Oh, you can see that, though. There's a video showing, some sort of handshake and all of that. So please slap somebody a high five and say, regardless, even if you're owing me some monies and you've been dodging me, happy survival.
No.
Fair play. No. You wouldn't agree to that.
No, if you're owing me money, you need to pay me.
If you're owing me money, you heard it now. You need to pay me ASAP, that is, as soon as possible. All right. Now, what is the ASAP conversation this morning? Now, we're looking at something that borders around the recently inaugurated, institutionalized, announced Forest Guard by Mr. President. Now, just as Mr. President announced, subsidy is gone, we are hearing again the president say, now we are saying there's a new forest, there should be a Forest Guard, institutionalized to ensuring that our forests are safe and tantamount to the communities, where this forests are being found or located are indeed safe. I mean, the spate of insecurity is one that cannot be overemphasized. It cannot also be underplayed, as we have seen quite a number of havoc, wrecked, in certain communities where farmers' villages have been sacked, where we've seen villages also paying certain levies to de facto, so to speak, government as institutionalized by criminal entity, right? Talking about the bandits, kidnappers, and to the larger group now, the Boko Haram, which of course has broken into the Mahmuda and quite a number of
Mahmuda, Lakurawa, Boko Haram, Iswa,
they are all there,
and what have you.
And it just makes us wonder, when will it even end? And could this be out of the wisdom of Mr. President, and maybe as a result of the constancy and continuum of our cries for a need for the forest guards, which of course, myself and Emefe had been having a conversation. She'd said, look, the forest guard has been there in existence for quite some time now, right? But then will this initiative strengthen the capacity and resources given to the forest guards? Remember and recall that just recently, one of our rep members have said that Boko Haram and the bandits are now using drones, sophisticated drones. That's how he says it, to indeed engage in warfare as we try to see that the fight against, terrorism in this country is put to an end. And this calls for the place of infrastructure development and facility equipment and all of that. Will this be the way out for Nigeria?
All right, joining us now to discuss all of this is a security expert. You might want to call him a security analyst, if you like, Comrade Salihu Mahmoud Dantata. He could pass for an in-house security analyst. Comrade, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Very good morning, the two wonderful Uncle Puffers.
Good morning to you, Comrade.
All right. Well, all right, Comrade, we've seen creation of special security, task, forces. We've seen regional security outfits, created as well. And we know also that there's been a call for the creation of state police, community policing, and what have you. And one would also say that forest guards in Nigeria is not new. I mean, this is something that's been in existence maybe some decades ago. But now that we have it on the front burner, all right, looking at the number of, people that would be recruited to form this National Forest, Guard. We're looking at 130,000
armed
of,
operatives,
operatives, armed operatives, by the way, to secure the 1,129 forest reserves across the country. Give us a quick, a brief on what this Forest Guard, is system rather is all about, and why it suddenly, went into extinction.
Well, for the listening pleasure of fellow Nigerians, the forest guards, like in the Hausa dialect, we used to call them Gandun Daji. That is the warriors of the forest, because I can vividly recall when we were growing up as kids in the wildlife forest of Kanji Lake National Park. Then you see them in green uniform. Itato, they were under Ministry of Agriculture. Majority of them then were volunteers with some little stipends from that particular ministry. And later, I believe they were moved to maybe environment ministry when it was created. But for people that are conversant with Niger and Kwara then, in the Kanji Lake National Park, there used to be the Gandun Daji, who are the forest guards. So I think it is right that they are being long due, because they have existed over time and played roles, particularly in the conservation aspect, because Itato, they were in charge of wildlife animals in forest and wildlife forest and also borders. Even though I know their expansion later came from other angles of volunteerism. But the forest guards we used to know while we were growing up in Hausa were called Gandundaji, and the people from Niger, Kwara, Taraba, and others were already familiar with them, because especially areas where you have wild animals and game reserves, like all these Yankari Games Reserve, Kanchi Lake Games Reserve, and also others. So I think particularly at this time, where the non-state actors found solace in some wildlife forests, in some thick forests, where accessibility and visibility isn't easy for our security forces. So I think the forest guards can play roles by also complementing the efforts of existing security agencies.
Okay.
In addition, same way the bill was passed, and I think there's another one too, because when you look at Benue, Plateau, and others, they are in their need of peace. So there is the Nigerian Peace Corps bill, which is also before the upper chamber. So I think they should do a lot too to pass that bill, so that the president can consent to it.
Okay.
So that the same way we are having forest guard, we can have Peace Corps, so that Peace Corps too, and while they are dislodging some of these people that are making peace to be difficult, or violence to be in the country, and insecurity, the Peace Corps can be playing roles of engaging some of the inhabitants of some of these areas. So I think it's a step in the right direction that can further build security in Nigeria.
Okay, comrade. I mean, whilst you're optimistic that the establishment of this forest, guards in Nigeria is a step in the right direction, towards curbing insecurity, aren't you concerned about the recruitment process? Where are these operatives going to be drawn from? Looking at the security, structures that we have existing in the country at the moment.
Don't forget that it was during the Olusegun Obasanjo administration that the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense got established. they had existed through volunteerism. People coming from different backgrounds and also others, and they came and they compressed them into one, and they became Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, where certain standards were set. Where hitherto there were even people holding positions who had no qualification, but after they got recognized and they got stabilized, they had to bring standards where there were minimum requirements for the lower cadre, for the commission cadre, and also others. And today, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense is also under the Immigration Correctional Service and Civil Defense and Fire Services Board in Area 1 there. So I think the criteria for employment, the criteria of operation is not going to be a problem for the Office of National Security Advisor, and for a ministry that will be the supervisory ministry, they might maybe add them up to the already existing paramilitary agencies under Ministry of Interior, or at the discretion of Mr. President, he can place them where they will perform better. But I don't think that will be a problem. The moment Mr. President does the normal thing, I think that isn't going to be a problem. The structure and what have you. And don't forget, the rate of unemployment in the country is very, very high. So this will be opportunity for our able youths who have the qualification, who have no mental problem, who have good behavior and character, to even to be integrated into the forest guard.
Okay, comrade, let me...
Don't forget during the military, they even set up a National Guard, which later was abolished by the Abacha administration.
Okay, so comrade, let me come in very quickly before I pass the baton on to my colleague Udwag Daniel. On a lighter note, are you encouraging maybe myself and UD now to apply for that recruitment process? Because you
encouraging who?
Myself and my co-host here, Udwag Daniel.
That is the commandant?
Yeah. No, myself and my colleague right here in the studio. So would you advise us?
I encourage you to apply.
Okay.
You know why I will encourage you to apply.
Why is
because
that?
Don't forget, after a standard is set for it and structure, there will be media and publicity department.
Oh, okay.
Public relation officers. Are you getting much?
All right.
For both the national headquarters as well as state headquarters. Are you getting my point?
Right.
You as professional communicators and media people, you can help to propagate the activities of the forest guard. So I think I will encourage you and your colleague to apply, and with your qualification, you'll be given commission level. So I think it's a thing to do, because with your versatility in anchoring and image making, you can also help to disseminate and propagate the forest guard once it is established. With due respect to the management of Igbo Radio, because I'm not in a way trying to take or advise or encourage their best brains to leave them because of the setting up of forest guard.
All right.
Yeah, we understand that.
That's
Thank
on a lighter note.
Even though most of the family members, quoting Usman Daura, has been about, we don't want development no more. I mean, Nigerians.
I think your network is not making me to hear your question.
Okay. Can you hear us
now?
I can hear your colleague's voice very well.
Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now there is improvement.
All right. Okay. Well, the thing is, we just want, the society, Nigeria, to be safe. And whichever way that we can, we will do our best, yeah? But then let's look at the place of training.
I still can hear you people very well.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Raise your voice a little bit.
Okay,
we'll have
to connect with you again, if that's okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's been a conversation though with the comrade himself. Comrade Saliu Mahmoud Dantata. He's a security expert, and he has given his voice to the discourse this morning. Now, I would like to know your thoughts on this. I mean, because it's one thing to say that we are talking about forest guards. It's another thing to note about how equipped are these forest guards going to be? How are they going to be? How equipped are they going to be? Is it the same old story? And what impacts will the designation of the forest guard, bring to the political task? Okay, right. Very well. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, yes.
Oh, okay. Right. So we are looking at basically the gains that we will indeed deduce from the forest guards being set up. Now, we're also talking the efficiency and the efficacy of the forest guards addition. Recall that before now, when we were having successes in the fight against terrorism, we had the NTJTF that joined with the military to fight or combat insecurity. And there were some successes where even the military at the time, even during the Buhari administration too, had said, oh, they've neutralized, this insurgents and all of that. So Nigerians are worried. Number one, in terms of equipment, in terms of the efficacy, what gains will the forest guard indeed bring to the table as we talk, coming out of the woods when it comes to insecurity in this country? Don't forget. Don't forget. A House of Reps member had come out, to saying that the Boko Harams now, they use sophisticated drones. All right.
Well, the gains are going to be enormous. Then, as regards the type of weapons and equipment they are going to use, then the motion raised by Honorable Gaddi from Plateau State. You see, sometimes we need to be positive. Okay. Like this is our area, and we monitor and we hear a lot of information that even what the lawmakers don't get as a representative of the people. So you see, the lamentation of Honorable Gaddi, I think it has this connection with reality, because to the best of our knowledge, the insecurity isn't up to how it used to be. Itato, people cannot travel from Abuja to Kaduna without being kidnapped, isn't it? But today, people are doing that freely. Like we always say, insecurity is not peculiar to Nigeria alone. Many countries across the world are having their flesh of it. So I think what we needed to do is to be positive and be supporting the troops. Don't forget, they are not angels. They are also other people's children, husbands, brothers, sisters, and what have you. Are you getting my point? Right. So if some of them sit at the lower and upper chamber there and make lamentations, what oversight have they been carrying on? Don't they also have constitutional responsibility of oversight? There are people there who are members of committees on security and national intelligence, defense, police, paramilitary, what have you, including subcommittee, army, navy, air force. Have they been moving to Damboa? Have they been going to Zamfara? Have they been going to Kayama? Have they been going to Barutin? Have they been going to Katina? Are you getting my point? Right. So we shouldn't just sit in Abuja eating shawarma and saying the combined armed forces, police are not gathering momentum. You see, when issues are happening in Plateau that are infiltrated by politics, by communal, what have you, Benue, and we give that prominence that what has been happening, like armed banditry in Zamfara, Katena, Kwara, Niger, and other things, we are not getting it right. So as regards what even with the sophistication of the military, the use of drones, they've not been able to. You see, there are also issues. At this point in time, let us not conclude on the forest guard, because there is kinetic and non-kinetic. I think their own mode of operation is going to be more of non-kinetic. Don't forget, in Kayama local government, at the time the Mahmuda terrorists wrote letters to some inhabitants of Kemanji under Kayama local government area of Kwara State, it was their vigilantes that first of all went to confront them, even though some of them were killed. But when the information got to the federal government, the Geosystem Division went. They even interacted with officers and men at Sobi Bara, where he gave 1 month ultimatum. And I can tell you, with our monitoring what have you from here, those officers and men of army response mobile police. They are gathering momentum in bushes of Tabiru, Kemanji, Nanunu, Kukani, Kokombani, where the Mahmuda terrorists are to deprive the inhabitants from accessing their farms. Even some of the people involved in wood logging, in coal, what they have arrested some informants, including Chinese expatriates. So are we now saying they are not gathering momentum there? Even though with the momentum they know, Turji gave to some people under Bafara, what have you, the troops after Operation Fasanyama, they recorded successes of recent and also others. So it is unfortunate that landmine killed some people along Damboa and Maiduguri. Don't forget, it's about 100 something kilometers. For some time, that road has been abandoned by motorists, even though we said there is neglect of intelligence gathering and use of drones to Kano and what have you. There is also one kind of restriction placed on the use of Tucano, which I must say today. The Tucanos that were procured under Buhari administration are still lying. After using them once, they are still lying there. They are not being used. You now use the Air Force use Alpha Jet and what have you. You see, Alpha Jet, no matter what success they are recording, are not as sophisticated and don't have the durability like Tucano, which I will say it even if I'm not supposed to say it. The Alpha Jet that you see that Air Force used to go and carry out this air raid and come back, only 1 hour, the fuel, they had to get to base. Tucano can land in battlefield in carrying out of onslaught for 4 hours.
But why are they not being used?
They said there are restrictions placed on Tucano, and we expanded trillions in procuring Tucano. So I think the armed forces, they should use the Tucano that they procured in this country. We knew initially America never wanted to sell Tucano to us, but now that we have it, how can people now place a restriction on it? What restriction? And some of these non-state. So it is not that most of these sophisticated weapons are not being used sometimes. Okay. Have they been using the Tucano that has durability for 4 hours to carry out this onslaught? That's the question I want to ask the defense authorities.
I mean, that is an expose, Comrade
right.
Saliu. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Anyhow, at this juncture, would like you to hold your thought, Comrade. Let's also indulge the listener on the other side of the radio to call in and share their 2 cents on the topic of discussion. Right, we're asking whether or not the creation of forest guards can curb insecurity in Nigeria. The numbers to call are 09044 or 09087668888. Good morning, Elder.
Elder, is my name.
Right.
Yes.
Good morning, my Oga Padavata. You have said all what you're supposed to say. Even what you were not supposed to say in the air. They have extended it to Nigeria. See, forest guard is good, but the rule of engagement can never allow them to work as they want. But they are inside forest with high caliber of weapons. And then the role of engagement, the armed National Assembly is going to approve for them. You can't pass the AK-47. And the AK-47, you only just forgot. Because of fight in the seat. When badges are using MG, using FF9, using subsidized weapons. And then two forest guards, they are good after the special force have cleared the inside forest. And we always talk about the special force, but people don't know, people criticize us. What they call a special force, the equipment where they are using, no army in the country can use it. People fight it, the type of force fighting insurgency. Insurgency war is a guerrilla war. The people to fight insurgency, they are guerrilla people. All the country in the world, the people fighting insurgency, they are not other army. Nigeria army, Nigeria police will have the best in the world. So guys fight and army are fighting insurgency. Insurgency fighting is a special force. And then how did you come there as inform them? The country where you go train them, they will communicate them with their own communication. We don't have communication in Nigeria here. Anything goes 20 kilometers beyond communication mass. You can never detect it. But MI5, if it's a country where you go train you, they will connect you with MI5. MI5, any forest in Nigeria, after you have blown your rope, blown your wire to that forest, you can detect anything. No country, they can give that type of equipment to army. It's for a special force. That's why we say, as the Alabaja came, He started training a special force. Once is 7 battalion now, special force. For another country to train them. But some people will hold it. Let Nigeria call Russia they are standby in Niger here. Let them train their special force, communicators with their own equipment there, and give us the weapon to fight insurgency. Foreign guard is good, but the role of engagement can never allow them to work. The same thing happened to army. Role of engagement. Don't allow me to use this jet where we buy. There's many weapons in the arm there. When army can use it because of the role of engagement. We are talking about the role of engagement. But people don't know. They don't know what is inside the spirit. They attack you that we don't need a second, we don't need this. The role of engagement with the army, police, and anything. It is not going to allow them to fight this insurgency. Thank you very much. God bless Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Elder. I must say that today's edition of the show, Eagles Outlook, is quite expository.
Exactly.
Because knowing that we have the Super Tucano, as line somewhere, not being used because for whatever reason, or rules of engagement.
Well, we'll just head out, go on a recess. We'll still see your calls coming through. We'll take them in a short bit. Don't go away.
No AC? No problem. We're cooling you down with the freshest hits. 102.3 Abuja.
You want order food? Straight to your doorstep. One pick up something, or drop off something. Maybe you need it for shopping. Direct from your favorite. You want order your cooking gas. Direct to your doorstep. We dey run massive discount. Just place your order now. We dey run free delivery when you order.
Hurry now and download Oya Now app on the Google Play Store or Apple Store. You can also visit us at www.oyanow.ng or call us on 080-8410-1000 or 081-2355-4000. We are available in Lagos and Abuja. Oya Now with the come.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Meet the Infinix Note 50 series, defined by pioneers who push boundaries. Its ultra-resilient armor alloy metal frame design gives you that slick, top-notch style. Unlock efficiency with intelligence of the one-tap Infinix AI and circle to search anything on your phone with Google. Need power in a flash? 90 watts fast charge rockets you from 0 to 100% in 38 minutes. Exclusive deals at authorized stores. Get your Note 50 now. The Infinix Note 50 series. Pro design, Pro AI.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
All right, it's still Eagles Outlook, and we're still looking at the forest guards. Kind of institutionalizing of the forest guards indeed brings soccer, especially in terms of insecurity in Nigeria. Can it solve the insecurity problem that we're facing this morning or in Nigeria? Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Edward.
Yes, good morning to you, Honorable Edward.
Yes, good morning once again.
Good morning to you, Honorable.
Yeah.
Yes, my name is Honorable Edward.
Exactly.
Right.
I would like to repeat that the best decision taken so far is establishment of forest guard. There is no specification of the type of gun the watch.
We're with you. Please go ahead.
And it's not part of, there's no specification in that declared by Mr. President that the federal guards are going to use this particular gun. So it depends on the outcome, what type of gun. This is somebody will not determine. They will decide which one they are going to use. But I think these people are going to use one of the best rifles because also want to be in the forest, whereby we are aware of the kidnappers. They are in the forest. They are in my village. I know that. They don't say you can't sit there in anybody's house. I got if